Joe Flacco had maybe the best quarter of his career, at least in the regular season, in the fourth quarter last week. What a showing from Joe Flacco just moments ago. Our Kimberly Martin caught up with his teammate, Myles Garrett.
All right, Myles, when the schedule came out, it was supposed to be Deshaun versus CJ Stroud. Today it's Case Keenum, 35-year-old Case Keenum versus 38-year-old Joe Flacco. What are you expecting from this match? But seriously, we haven't seen Case start in a long time. What's the key to getting to him and getting that offense off rhythm?
I mean, it's old. As long as we just keep on, playing throughout the game, I think he'll just wear out.
Now, Myles, you and I talk all the time, but in Cleveland, there's been some chatter about your supposed sack drought. 4 games without a sack. Are you aware of that? Do you care about that? And what more do you have to do to earn Defensive Player of the Year honors?
I'm not worried about Defensive Player of the Year. No.
You smiled when I said drought. Were you unaware of the drought?
Of course I know of the drought, but who cares? At the end of the day, there are stats that don't always matter. Those sacks that I'm not getting have been going to other teammates, other players on our team who have been making those plays and using them to grow and improve. And mine will come, especially when we need them. But as long as I keep on applying pressure and making it hard for the quarterbacks to find a good, comfortable shot to throw in that pocket, I think we'll be all right. And I think it'll start converting back into sacks here soon.
Thank you, Myles.
Of course, thank you.
How about AFC? He has the second most passing yards in the NFL over the last 3 weeks. Spent the majority of his career with the rival Ravens, of course, winning Super Bowl 47 MVP. And for more on Joe Flacco, let's get out to Kimberly Martin in Houston.
Sam, even now, Joe Flacco isn't sure why his phone never rang until mid-November, but those 11 months that he sat on the couch on football Sundays in his childhood home, eating his mom's cooking, no longer matter. The 38-year-old knew he still had it, and now so do the Browns. I sat with Flacco after practice on Friday to talk about his return to football and why Cleveland ended up being the perfect city for him. Take a listen.
He throws the middle, it's wide open. 10, 5, touchdown. Oh my goodness.
So we have you, super excited. Loving life. Look at that. Look. This guy, a month and a half ago, was on the couch.
It's hard to control your smile. When you're a guy that's just stepping in and you just walked off the street, you want to prove that you belong to the guys that are on the team and you want to have a positive impact.
For almost 11 months, football Sundays looked a lot different for Super Bowl 47 MVP, Joe Flacco. Afternoons once reserved for NFL game days were centered around family time and his mother's cooking in his childhood New Jersey home.
Kind of just falling into the routine of, being at home and watching the 1 o'clock games, just like anybody else in America.
As you're watching, were there days where you're like, I'm better than this guy, come on?
I'm sure most guys would probably, when they're sitting at home, have a little bit of it that's in them that like, okay, I can do that.
The 38-year-old quarterback hadn't started a game since Week 18 of the 2022 season. But he stayed ready, using anything and anyone at his disposal.
As soon as school gets out, we have like a band of like 12 boys, a couple girls walking down the street, and they throw their backpacks in the house and they're ready to do something. As a dad, you got to get yourself out there and you got to have fun when you have the time to do it.
So you should probably credit all the neighborhood kids for
sure.
keeping you safe. So why do you think the phone didn't ring until mid-November?
I don't have an answer for you. I've been around a while. I'm probably not looked at as the most sexy, option out there. For whatever reason, I guess I had some kind of faith that I was going to play again. I think as the year went on, it starts to kind of diminish a little bit, but hey, you never know. You got to be ready for when it does happen.
Breaking news, Deshaun Watson done for the year in Cleveland.
Deshaun Watson's season-ending shoulder injury resulted in a quarterback carousel for Cleveland and an unexpected workout for Flacco.
When he first got in the building, everybody, of course, knew who Joe Flacco was, but none of us have played with him before. everybody was like, ooh, like that looks good. Like it looks good coming out of his arm. Joe is Joe. Like this is why he's Joe Flacco. This is why he's been playing for so long.
Hello, Joe Flacco, back at QB1, this time for the Browns.
His opportunity finally came in Week 13, on the road against the Rams.
When you sit out a half a year, you don't take opportunities to play for granted.
Going kicker. All right, family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
He's got Cooper open. Touchdown!
Guys have embraced him because they realize, you know, his skill set, number one, but he's also not an a-hole. You know what I mean? Like, he's a good dude at the same time.
Bring these games on. It's just going to make us better in the long run. I appreciate you guys having me, man. I feel like a 10-year-old kid out there.
What does it mean that you're playing meaningful football with a chance to go back to the postseason?
It's just an unbelievable opportunity, and I'm just trying to stay in the moment and, you know, enjoy the process as much as I can and then go out and play good football.
But Sam, let's not forget about the quarterback on the other side, Case Keenum, or as Myles Garrett called him, the old one. Texans defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins told me, do not sleep on Keenum. Why? Because Rankins is still haunted by the biggest play of Keenum's career, back when he was on the Saints team that was knocked out of the playoffs by Keenum's now famous Minnesota Miracle play. Rankins told me, every day I look at Case, I think, damn man, that was you. That was really you. Now, lots of backup quarterbacks will try not to mess up, Rankins told me, but he said that's not the case with Case. He's going to look to put the team on his shoulders to help us get a victory, so we are not at all tucking our tail because we know we've got a dog at quarterback.
Kimberly, that's great stuff right there. I love this backup quarterback situation for both of these teams because neither one of these guys are the guys you change the whole playbook for and you really got to hold. These are two vets that know what they're doing. I mean, Case is going to have half of Houston, his family, everybody that he played with in college. He, of course, was the Houston quarterback there. There's going to be so much excitement for him around this game today. But I want to get back to Flacco for a second, Rex. I mean, what he has done off the couch for this Cleveland Browns team, why do you think it's working so well so fast?
Well, I think first off, Sam, Joe Flacco has always had special arm talent.
Sure.
I mean, unbelievable. And he's smart. And they called him, we used to call him Joe Cool, right when he came in there. And not as cool as my sweater, but
no, of course
pretty
not.
close.
Can't be.
But I have to tell the story.
Okay.
When he came in as a rookie, okay, first round pick, and I was telling Ozzie, wow, quarterback, great. You know, I was wanting a defensive guy. But anyway, we bring this guy in, and after 2 practices, it was clear he was way better than any quarterback we had. And I remember one time right before, like 2 weeks before we opened up the regular season, the owners, GMs, all the coaches were sitting around there, and everybody's going through who should be the starting quarterback. We had 2 average, I'm being really nice saying 2 average quarterbacks. They kept saying, this guy's saying A, this guy's saying B, or whatever. So it gets to me. I was the defensive coordinator at the time, and I'm like, it's not even close. So they wait. I kind of pause just for a reaction. It's Joe Flacco. Who the hell are we? Oh, no. We have one quarterback that's throwing pat and go. Hurts his shoulder throwing pat and go, out for the season. Next guy comes in, gets an illness. Joe Flacco becomes the starting quarterback. I think we win 13 or 14 games as a rookie. Jeez. This kid was cool then, and guess what? He's even cooler now. He sits back there, and he's going to lead this team to the playoffs. I mean, and this is an incredible story, and this guy is one of the best dudes around as well. So Amari Cooper, I agree with him. I mean, he is
unlike you.
What did he say? He's not a
He's a good dude.
Unlike who, Randy?
Unlike you,
yeah,
Rex,
you
right?
go.
You know, the one thing looking at this with Joe Flacco being able to come off the couch, it just says a lot that this team, what they were needing. And they were needing, as we've been sitting here talking each week, a game manager, somebody to really control the clock. Yes, he's had some interceptions throughout the last couple of weeks, but if there's something that stood out to me with Kimberly Martin's piece, that was a great piece. Hopefully they can finish it up because I need to know who those kids were that this man was throwing to keep his arm intact. But, you know, he broke it down with family. And when you look at you know, the energy that Joe Flacco, he's been around his family. Now he's going to his second family, and that's the locker room. They're embracing an old guy like Joe Flacco. And if there's something that stands out to me, you talking about Amari Cooper earlier with all the quarterback adjustments that he had to make this season. But the tight end Njoku, everything that he's been through this football season with the burns and being able to be on the receiving end of Joe Flacco's throws. Over the last 2 games, this man has had 3 touchdowns. If there's one touchdown out of the 3 that stands out, is what you would tell a quarterback every time in the red zone. You throw the ball low on the goal line and you throw it high on the back of the end line. That's what the veteran Joe Flacco brings to this as a flavored, seasoned veteran, being able to make plays like that. I'm excited about Joe Flacco and this opportunity.
Yeah, you talk about old Joe. I mean, I think the plan has always been, even with Joe, you get him moving off his spot, and that's what you want. I mean, his mentality is going to be the same. No matter how old he is, he throws 3 picks, he'll throw. It doesn't affect him. That's just that's where the Joe Cool comes from. So if Grenard and Rankins can get that pressure on him from the Texans and get him moving, I mean, the most impressive thing I've seen him do so far was when he was moving and still hit Coop.
Yes.
I think that was Coop down the sideline. I'm like, how did he do that? You know, but that's basically the defensive plan against a quarterback like this. That's going to stand up there 6'5", 6'6", looking at you. He sees that rush coming. I want to get him moving for the Texans if you're going to have any chance to win this game.
Yeah, my guess is D'Amico Ryans basically said, you know what I need you to do against Joe Flacco? I need